At International Flavors and Fragrances, scientist Dr. Braja Mukherjee watches the shuttle take off with his own dreams in mind. On board is an aroma experiment designed by both him and his colleague. The scientists believe that plants, like people, undergo physical changes when exposed to the weightlessness of space. They speculate that while orbiting the Earth, a rose named Overnight Sensation may produce the beginnings of new and unique fragrance and flavor ingredients. The experiment itself focuses on the gathering of aroma molecules through the use of a special needle designed by IFF scientists.
This needle is called SPME needle. When this needle is placed above the flower, the surface of this needle absorbs the molecules of the flower.
This ambitious undertaking is the culmination of months of planning by professionals from NASA, the University of Wisconsin, and IFF.
Once IFF was chosen, the scientists and engineers at the University of Wisconsin had to adapt their existing plant growth chamber to do the sampling necessary for this fragrance experiment in space.
We have a go for engine start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff of Discovery.
And on board the shuttle, 7 astronaut heroes and 1 American rose. Although the force of the takeoff is tremendous, the well-housed flower survives and the experiment proceeds as planned. Aboard the Discovery, the space flower experiment is conducted by Pedro Duque, John Glenn, Steve Lindsay, and Chiaki Mukai, payload specialists.
I think the rose experiment was very well developed. So crew operation-wise, it was not so very difficult. Of course, we were so lucky because everything went very well and the device worked very well in space.
While it was being tested in space, the overnight sensation was also being tested down on Earth, where, except for near-zero gravity, shuttle conditions Over 100 news stations picked up on the report of the miniature rose plant in space, and the story continued to spread.
John Glenn and the Discovery crew blast off
John Glenn will be transporting the first miniature rose into space.
Another historic passenger scheduled to travel aboard Space Shuttle Discovery is a flower.
Top story this morning, a miniature rose bush will be aboard the Shuttle Discovery.
A miniature rose called Overnight Sensation. Braja Mukherjee of International Flavors and Fragrances, who's behind the experiment.
ABC's Bill Blakemore tonight on what happens to a rose when it goes into orbit.
The final day of the mission arrives and the shuttle touched down safely. The needle samples were flown back to IFF labs the next morning, where they were immediately analyzed by computer. And what Dr. Mukherjee and his colleague, IFF senior research chemist Subha Patel, found was astounding. The experiment proved significant changes in the odor molecules of the rose, so much so that a new aromatic oil was produced. All that remained was for Dr. Mukherjee and Subha Patel to recreate the space fragrance using the analysis of the collected space molecules.
I like this because it's lighter and sharper and still rosy fragrance. It's good.
The rose oil is not necessarily limited to fragrance. It promises to open new possibilities for flavor and perhaps even pharmaceuticals that are derived from plant molecules. The experiment, done literally out of this world, is a good example of IFF's extraordinary commitment to research in taste and smell.
We're hoping that you'll be interested in another experiment with us in the very near future.
We are looking forward very eagerly to do some future spaceflight experiment.
I don't think that there is any other company in the flavor and fragrance business that has gone to the edges of science in order to procure new innovations the way IFF has. We feel that by pushing the edge of the science, by using our wildest imagination to see where it leads in order to improve the business that we're in, the creation of flavors and fragrances, will have profound effects eventually for mankind in satisfying those two senses, taste and smell.
The Space Flower Experiment, one example of how IFF is launching its partners into the future. Tomorrow's flavors and fragrances today.